Hi, it's Deanne Carter with another episode of Relationships on Lockdown. In the last video, I challenged you to look at redefining your relationship, really looking at making it a choice and changing your perspective about your partner and your partnership. Well, some people's response to that is, I don't want to go there. That in my relationship, we don't talk about stuff or it doesn't work out so well. But how do you know if you're being conflict avoidant or if that's your emotional intelligence using discernment that really isn't the pathway to you getting what you need? Well, have an inner committee meeting. Listen to those voices inside your head. And if you're saying things like, well, I can't ask them to change that thing because they already do so much, or I'm not really perfect, and so, I'm just going to get met with defense. Or, inside your body, you get all fearful or you just go blank when you think of saying something. Okay, so those are some indicators that it's more conflict avoidance, right? Discernment would be more, I can think of that if we were to be able to have a perfect conversation and we negotiate whatever I want and it all works out, then what would the end result of that be? Take a moment, play a video in your head of if it would all work out, then... And that's going to give you some clues of what's the end result you're looking for. And you might have to play that out a few more steps, so that, and then you come up with something else. And then you say, so that, and you keep asking yourself, what's underneath that? What is really the end result of what I'm looking for? And sometimes it's things like, well, if my partner would just understand, but they don't. So I don't get to, have that result. Okay, but what if they did understand? Well, then they wouldn't think these things about me. Okay, well, what if they didn't think those things about you? Then what? Well, then we could talk about things. Okay, and then what? So I would feel more comfortable speaking up for my needs. And if you did, then what? So that. Because then you might get to, I would be acting from this particular place. I would be less censored, or I would be more able to take care of my own needs, or I would feel more balanced in these things. I would take time to do my hobbies. Okay, so it's going to give you more evidence to your direct route. Okay, now go back to, what about discernment? Okay, so discernment may tell you, okay, the reality is I don't have that understanding, and I've tried to bring this up, and it's not something we've been able to negotiate, and yet I'm clear. I've done my inner work to be clear about the end result I'm looking for, and now I'm challenging myself to just take those direct actions. And it's not going to work for absolutely everything, but there's certainly, I don't think I've ever worked with somebody in 20 years that wasn't able to come up with something. Okay, so my being conflict avoidant, there's stories to it. There's all these yeah buts. There's all these negative thoughts, always, never, just, and you'll feel it in your body. You'll feel less kind of full, less embodied. But the using discernment, you can still get what you want. It may be a bumpier ride. It may be tougher. It may be sad that you don't have partner support for it, but it's still possible. So that's one of the ways that we can evolve during this time when relationships are on lockdown and we're not having fun with it, but we can still grow, right? We're a work of art in progress. Let's take advantage of it.